Dave, a tight 1-0 win on the road at FC St Helens this afternoon. Just give us an overview on today's performance.
I think overall, over the moon really. I think really tough game, really challenging conditions. The pitch was tough in terms of the dry weather and the bobbles. Wasn't conducive to playing any type of football on, but look, you go through a season, you've got to come up against different challenges and different adversity, and I think the lads were absolutely outstanding. You know, it wasn't pretty to watch, but we battled to a man. We probably created another 4 or 5 really good chances that the game should have been out of sight, I think, even in the first half. But the commitment, the group, it's a special group. I think we've seen something change over the last few weeks. The togetherness, the camaraderie, the never say die attitude, and today they've shown it in buckets and made up. It's another game ticked off.
We'll look at the games that you mentioned, the chances there. The St Helens keeper put a good few saves together in the first half and did so again in the second half. I think it says a lot when last week in their 500 feet against Lower Breck he got man of the match, and I think if he'd have performed like he did today then in that game against Lower Breck last Saturday, you can see why he got the plaudits and essentially on a few occasions kept your side's chances out.
Yeah, he did. He's an excellent young goalkeeper, Joe. Worked with him at Macclesfield. He's got a really good future ahead of him. You're seeing today that what he's best at, that shot stopping, that reaction saves. You know, he's a really, really outstanding young goalkeeper and go far. Obviously working with Mick at FC St Helens, I think it's a good club for him. It's a good base for him to grow. So, yeah, look, if we're going to be critical, I think we've got to put the chances away where we don't give him a chance. But he's made one in particular was a world-class save, and it was unbelievable. But I think there's a few where we could have got a bit better contact and maybe put the game to bed.
And looking at the personnel today, Aaron Chalmers coming back into the squad coming back into the start 11 rather for Louis Jean. Connor Pye not involved in the 16. What can you tell us about today's selection decision?
Yeah, so obviously I think what Aaron gives us is a lot of experience and a lot of leadership and communication across the back line. We knew it was going to be a game today where there's probably going to be a lot of balls put on us, and I think that's obviously Aaron's strength, sort of defending that first contact. So it made sense to bring Aaron in today. Look, it's tough. It's tough to leave lads out the squad. It's tough to make decisions over who starts, but you know it's a better problem to have than it is to obviously be searching for someone to fill a gap. So yeah, we've got an unbelievable squad at the moment, and it's difficult to manage. But every time lads turn up, they keep performing.
Reece Kendall coming off in the second half there. He obviously picked up a knock and then tried to run it off, and then obviously ended up having to come off. What can you tell us about his condition? Is it going to be a concern going into next weekend?
Don't know. It's going to be touch and go. I think he thought he could get through it, which is always a good sign. He's just rolled his ankle a little bit, so it's a little bit sore, but tender now. Obviously, we'll assess him Tuesday and make some decisions for next weekend, probably on Thursday.
And looking overall at the squad, we've spoken about it a lot in recent weeks in terms of its tight knit. You said in the answer to the first question, it's a special group, and you can see what a win today, despite it only being a 1-0 win, see what it meant to them at the end.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. The lads they're together. They've got a common goal. I think they all understand the jobs, they all understand the roles within the team, within the squad. And look, they're all pushing each other, and you know, steel sharpens steel. I think it's really pleasing to be around the group at the moment. It's really enjoyable to be around them. I think they're pushing each other, they're striving for excellence, and you know, it's only 1-0. I'll take 1-0 every game between now and the end of the season. So another big 3 points. Doesn't matter what else happens. I think we're just sole focused now on Pilks away next week. We've got two good training sessions, and everything's about trying to pick up 3 points next weekend.
Well, that game at Pilkington, not too far away from where we are.
Stone's throw.
Not far where we are this afternoon. That marks the 5 games to go mark. Obviously, you look at various different markers in the season, but with the final 5 ahead, what are your thoughts on it for starters, and secondly, have you got a message for the fans?
I think as staff, obviously, we're always looking ahead. We're always looking at what's coming sort of over the horizon, but for the players, we've only got one game left, and that's the next one. And, you know, we've got to focus on the next game. The fans were unbelievable again today. They've been outstanding at gig. We've got a tough away game next week. Come in your numbers, bring the noise, and we'll make sure that we try and get the 3 points.
Perfect. Thanks for your time, Dave.
Thank you.